Hey everybody, what's up? Zeta coming to you once again. This time coming to you with another strategy video. This video is going to be strategy 102, and this video is going to be about microing archers. So earlier today, we were doing state of the game, and one of the questions that was asked in the chat was, how do I micro my units? And I thought that was a good enough question that I would take a couple minutes and spend a few minutes on that. So here I am. I'm just in a, I think the skirmish hall, is that what it's called? Yeah, skirmish hall. Playing by myself, playing against, I don't know, King Agamemnon. Who's apparently just pounding my villagers. This is the defense squad, by the way. We're defending the home front. These guys are the guys that I'm actually going to use. So I thought I would break it down, how to micro your units a little bit into. Wow, he's relentless. I thought I would break it down into a couple different steps, and I think the first step that is the most important is archers, because archers require the most overall general control by you as a player, and can be pretty easily punished just because they're so squishy. I mean, if you look at their HP, they got 120 HP, and that's like with all this gear on, because this is the skirmish hall, so it's like really they're like really squishy, like probably like I don't even know how many hit points. It's low. They don't have a lot of hit points. They die easily, and they're easy to punish if they're out of position. So that being said, how do you micro archers? What should you do with archers? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. You can attack move. Well, just like you can attack move anything else in the game, you can press the attack move key. The default is A, but I have mine set to Z, and then you right click and attack. And what that'll do is anytime they run into anything, like for example, let's charge over to this storehouse. Anytime you attack anything, anytime something comes in line of sight, all of your units that are in line of sight of that unit, or those units, or said units, will attack it. So naturally, if we go over here, what do I got over here? Oh, I got some more guys. If you just like press attack move and you right click behind it, oh, he's got a tower. But when they come into line of sight of it, they'll just start attacking it. And that works for units too. If they run into a unit, they'll just start shooting the units. But that results in a lot of what's called overkill, with your units not really being efficient, because, like, say for example a spearman trickles out front. All of your archers are going to shoot at that spearman, and they're going to kill him. And they're going to kill only him until he's dead. And then the next volley, whichever unit is the closest out front, they're going to, once again, boom, they're all going to hit whoever's the closest. So if you're standing here and a single spearman walks out here and the rest of his army's right back here, where these deer are, these are going to be the test subjects, by the way, they're all going to attack only that spearman that's out front, which is incredibly inefficient, because, I mean, it probably takes maybe 2-3 shots to kill a spearman, whereas, you know, you're wasting 16 shots on it. So obviously things could do better. So what you do instead of that is, when you're standing still fighting archers, if you attack move your archers in a fight, they're going to do that. They're going to do just that. They're going to, whatever unit comes closest, they're going to hit that. And so if you're running away, you're kiting back and forth, say there's units chasing you, say there's cav chasing you, you want to pick off the closest unit to you, because you don't want to like get snared or get stuck. So you run, you attack move away from the direction that you're being kited from, attack move back, and then they shoot back this way. But if you're just standing and fighting, you want to do what's called drag boxing, and I'll show you what that is. The first thing with drag boxing is, you have to be good at selecting small groups of units. Notice how pretty much on command I can drag little boxes around my units and get about 3 or 4 of them at a time. And the better you can get at getting small groups of your units, the better you are. You want to be able to click little groups of units really fast, and that will result in your splitting being better. I mean, ideally you would want to grab about 4 every time, I would say, between 3 and 4 every time. But you also want to do it moderately quickly. So what you're going to do is you're going to drag a little box, and then you're going to right click. And while those guys are reloading, so these guys have already been spent, so they're done. Then you're on to the next group. Oops, clicking, dragging, boom. Next group, click, drag, boom. Next group, click, drag, boom. So that all of your archers, ideally, are hitting different targets. Now, I mean, whoa, I'm being attacked. Home defense, defend. That's attack move, by the way. So ideally, when you're standing there, you want to, so say the enemy is out here fighting, you've got your cav and your infantry out front, right, and your archers are back here. You want to be killing the anti-cav. You want to be killing what they kill best, so you want to be killing infantry. So say these remaining deer are infantry, you want to click, drag, boom, click, drag, boom, click, drag, boom, click, drag, boom. And you want to do it as fast as you can so that you don't get any overkill, because by default, if you've attack moved them, then they'll all hit what's closest. So you want to split them up so they're hitting different things. So let's go over here to these guys. We got another set of test subjects over here. So remember, click, drag, and then right click. So you want to drag little box around each of these, and you want to shoot. Oops, I didn't have enough there. See how now they're reloading, so that you want to avoid. So you drag, click, boom, drag, click, boom. Right, so if you have, I don't know, 10 units, maybe you can get off 2 volleys with your units. When I only got 1. But that's ideally what you want to do. Now there are some other things you can do when you're fighting in really big battles with archers. Here comes the perfect, here's attack moving, right? So you're kiting them back and forth. You attack move behind you, and you click and you run, and you attack move behind you, and you click and you run back, and you attack move behind you, and you click and you move back, and you attack move behind you, and you click and you move back, and you attack move behind you. That's really the only time you ever want to use attack move with archers, is when you're doing something like that. So, drag boxing, clicking, dragging little boxes of units around your units and split firing them is ideal. Another thing you can do, which is kind of a neat little trick, is it used to be the stop command, but now the stop command can be just done by clicking right in the middle of your units. And see how they all kind of stop? They all like go right to that point. And when you do that, your archers split their fire very well. I'm not actually sure why it is, but if you watch here, watch these villagers. Boom. See how they all took like even amounts of damage, and none of my archers are really overkilling? You can kind of use that in place of attack move to really spread your fire really well, and it's really simple to do. You just click right in the middle of your units, and they kind of auto split their fire. I don't know exactly what it is in the game mechanic that does that, but it results in very little overkill, and something that's moderately easy to do. Now, when you don't want to use this is necessarily when you're fighting in big fights, because if you click to move here, yeah, your units are going to split fire, but then these guys are going to just, eventually they're just going to not be attacking. So if the other guy runs away, your units, instead of continuing to attack and continuing to be aggressive, are just going to be doing their own thing. So you don't really want that either. So when you're in big fights, you want to drag boxes, and you want to try and kill. Oops, I'm lagging a little bit. You want to try and kill. Oops, they just died before I even got a chance. You just want to drag little boxes if possible, and focus down the units that need to be hit. So hopefully that gives you some insight to archers. Use those kind of things. Remember, when you're running away, attack move. When you're standing and fighting, drag box. And if you're in a situation where you're just like kind of fighting archers versus archers, and you just want to split your fire really evenly, then you can do this neat little thing where you just click in the middle of your units and they spread their fire. I would only really use that if you're fighting archers versus archers, because then you're just splitting your fire evenly. Normally when you're in a fight, remember, you want your archers to be hitting the infantry, and that's why instead of doing this kind of thing where you just let them fire randomly and, you know, just spread their fire out, you click and you drag little boxes around your units and you have them focus the more important little groups, because you want to kill, say, the anti-cav so that your cav can get in there and fight, or you want to kill the camels so your cav can fight, or you want to kill the hippospis so your infantry don't die, right? So you always just want to be focusing on the units that are going to be the units that they need to kill. So those are the three like kind of aspects of Archer Micro. Attack moving, Remember, attack moving is used for hitting and running away. Clicking in the middle of your units so that they all stop and spread their fire. Also, the stop, known as the stop command, is for fighting big groups of ranged units against big groups of ranged units, and then clicking and dragging little boxes and right-clicking little groups of units and splitting your fire is against just for normal battle situations where you want to take out the infantry as quickly as possible. So those are the 3 tactics that you can work on. And really focusing on those 3 things and learning how to do those well, and getting good at those 3 things and knowing how to use them and when to use them will really make you a better player and make your micro improve a lot. So hopefully you found that interesting, thought-provoking, helps you out a little bit with how to manage your units, and I'll come back a little bit later maybe with some of the other units. So that's strategy 102, Archer Micro. Enjoy, have fun.